Welcome back to my channel. I am Miss Maithili Raikar and I'll be talking on the topic urban sprawl. Urban sprawl is basically another word for urbanization. It refers to the migration of a population from populated towns and cities to low density residential development over more and more rural land. The end result is the spreading of a city and its suburbs over more and more rural areas. In another word, urban sprawl is defined as low density residential and commercial development on undeveloped land. Most of the time, people will move from these areas to try to find better areas to live. This has been the way of the world since the beginning. Urban sprawl refers to the expansion of poorly planned, low density, auto dependent development which spreads out over large amount of land, putting long distance between home, stores and work and creating high segregation between residential and commercial uses with harmful impacts on the people living in these areas and the ecosystem and wildlife that have been displaced. Some of the causes of urban sprawl are lower land rates. Lower land rates and houses in the outer suburbs of the cities because the center of urban development have really made people want to stop settling in these areas and want to venture further out. Improved infrastructure. There is increased spreading of certain type of infrastructure including road and electricity. This is something that hasn't always been available and there are still some areas that don't have these luxuries. That does not mean that they aren't working on it. Rise in standard of living. There are also increase in standard of living and average family incomes, which means that people have the ability to pay more to travel and commute longer distance to work and back home. Lower house tax. Cities will usually have high property tax and you can usually avoid these taxes by living in the outer suburbs because the taxes are usually lower than they would be in the other situation. Lack consumer preferences. People in high income groups have stronger preferences towards larger home, more bedrooms, bigger balconies and bigger lawns. This also causes urban sprawl as this option is not available in crowded cities. People generally look out for low density residential areas where they can get home according to their preferences. Lack of urban planning. People love to find areas that are less trafficked and more calm, which leads them to sprawl out to other sections of the town. Unprecedented development, cutting of trees, loss of green cover, long traffic jam, poor infrastructure force people to move out to new areas. Population growth. Another factor that contributes to urban sprawl is the rise in population growth. As the number of people in the city grows beyond capacity, the local communities continue to spread farther and farther from city centers. Some of the effects of urban sprawl are increased traffic. Population will begin to use their cars more often, which means that there is more traffic on the roads and there is also more air pollution and more auto accidents that you have to worry with. Health issues. When people use vehicles, even to go for a short distance, people are going to be more overweight and are also going to have to deal with ailments such as high blood pressure and other diseases that come about with obesity. Sanitation issue. With the increase in population in a particular area, sanitation might be a huge issue in the densely populated areas. Since, in most cases of urbanization, proper planning is a major issue, so it is quite natural that urban sprawling could easily lead to some sanitation problem. Environmental issue. Sprawls can also cause certain environmental issue that you may want to be aware of. In fact, when you think about going out to develop these lands, you will have to worry about the wildlife that lives in these lands. You will be displacing them, and it can really cause a ripple in the environment. Increase in public expenditure. They can actually play a part in the increase in public cost because these changes in infrastructure and buildings must actually be paid for by someone, and it is usually the taxpayers' money that pays for it. Some of the solutions for urban sprawl are adopting the principle of new urbanism. New urbanism is a vital principle that helps check the problem of urban sprawling to a great extent. As it is said by Ball State University, when the focus turns from the suburbs and towards the inner city, growth can happen without the pollution and landscape destruction that comes with sprawl. And that is the philosophy of new urbanism. It decreases pollution as well as protects the natural environment. Imparting proper education. In order to prevent urban sprawling, it is absolutely crucial that the masses are properly educated and are adequately taught about urban sprawling, as well as its causes and effect. In these cases, knowledge is the great and the best power available. It will also help in better urban planning. Thank you.